When you purchase Forms Boss, one of the very first things that you'll want to do is make sure that your agency setup form is configured the way that you want it to be. From the main menu, you'll select the Management tab. Then you'll double-click Agency Setup Form. You'll see a row of tabs across the top of the agency setup form. Each of these has a specific purpose, so let's take a look at these different features. Here's your basic agency info tab. You'll make sure that your address and phone number and code and subcode appear as you want them to. These code and subcode will pre-fill on certain forms, and the name and address will appear on just about every form. You'll notice that you cannot change your agency name. That's because we have to change it in our records. Your license with us is linked to your agency name, and so if you needed to change your agency name for some reason, you would just need to give us a call here at Forms Boss. You can enter your agency email here. You can add a logo. If you have a logo saved for your agency somewhere on your computer, you would be able to just navigate to that logo and insert it here with this Add Logo button. You will also have a Print Options tab here. It shows a renewal text that will appear on any renewal letters that you send out with Forms Boss. You can change that to say however you want it to read. You can type any message that you would want to appear in your renewal text. You can also change your data entry font here. It will just pull up a font list and you can change it to be whatever you would like it to be. You can also change the notes font in the same way. This word path is just a path to whatever program in your computer that you want to use for creating memos. This is what that word path is for. So we have it set to the Notepad program on this computer, but you could use Microsoft Word if you wanted, or whatever word path you wanted to select, and you would just navigate to that with this Locate File button here. You can add an invoice message here. Down here you can have certain settings for margins within your ACORD forms, within your mailing labels, and then also in your filing labels. So that's where you would change any margin settings within this Print Options tab of the Agency Setup form. Let's take a look at the Security tab. You'll notice in your Security tab that you can create usernames and passwords. You would just create a new record with the New Record button down here. And you can add users for Forms Boss with this handy chart here. Let me explain a little bit about these different features and checkboxes that are listed for different users across here. Administrator rights would allow this person to add and delete usernames and passwords. So right here, if you tried to add or delete a username and password and you did not have administrator rights, you wouldn't be able to do that. Financial rights would apply to invoicing and payments. If you have the management option of Forms Boss Plus, you would need to have your financial rights checked here under the Security tab in order to allow whichever persons that you wanted to be able to do invoicing and payments to use those features of the program. Deleting rights allows you to delete customers and forms. So that's what that feature is for. And then reports just allows you to run reports within FormsBoss. So those are the different security settings. If you have a user listed who doesn't have any of those checkboxes checked, that just means that this person has very basic rights. They can create new customers, can create new forms, but they can't delete any customers or forms. So this person without any boxes checked would just be a very basic user. You'll notice on this security tab, your registration number and management option number will appear down here at the bottom. That's useful for you to know if you are needing to set up FormsBoss on a different computer. You can just go to one of your current computers and check your registration number and management number to register it on a new machine if you needed to. The Preferences tab just has a list of checkboxes, and you can set these to be whatever features that you prefer to have within FormsBoss. If you wanted to disable sounds, you can check this, or to enable it, leave it unchecked. Auto scroll notes is checked automatically. If you want it to open up with the customer form showing immediately when you first start up FormsBoss rather than the main menu, you would just click this checkbox. You can restore form preferences here, use your Outlook contacts, your Windows address book, QuickBooks integration. There is a separate video tutorial about QuickBooks that explains why that is important. These two checkboxes here, strict change detection and forced buffer flush, we ask you not to check those unless a technician specifically instructs you to do so over the phone. Otherwise, those two checkboxes will need to remain unchecked. You can check this spell check as you go in Documents check. You can select the new master holder list. Don't archive emails, delete email log entries. All of these different preferences are allowed here under the Preferences tab. The Email tab is where you would set up email within FormsBoss Plus. There is a separate tutorial about email specifically, and so I will not go into too much detail in this tutorial, but you'll see that you have a tab here in the agency setup form with all of your email settings configured. You also have the margins for the PDF settings down here at the bottom of the email tab too, so that's worth noting as well. Of course, the very first thing you'll need to do when you purchase FormsBoss Plus is to register. You'll click this Register button. You'll need to enter your agency name exactly as it appears on your paid receipt that we email to you when you purchased. It is case sensitive, so you would need to put capital letters and punctuation exactly as we have it on your receipt. So you would enter your agency name and you would click OK. It will then ask you for your registration number, which is also on your receipt. You would enter your registration number and click OK. Then it will ask you for the management number. If you did purchase the management option of FormsBoss Plus, you would need to then enter the management number there. Otherwise, you would just leave the 0 that appears there automatically in that management option number box, and you would just click OK. It should tell you whether the management option is installed or not based on whether you entered a number or not, and then it should tell you that your standard FormsBoss registration is accepted in the next screen. And once you have completed all of those registration steps, you will just make sure to click this green OK checkbox on the agency setup form to save all of your settings. So that tells you how to use the agency setup form in FormsBoss Plus.